Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here, and to everybody who's watching the recording, thanks for watching. So today our topic is ideas for basically summer camps, or not necessarily summer, but piano camps for your students. So anything that's kind of out of the ordinary, a short burst, something fun for your students to do. And a lot of people do decide to do that during the summer so that they can take off the rest of the summer. They give their students something fun, continue to get paid throughout the summer, and then everybody gets a break, the teacher, the students. A lot of teachers like that. So we have some ideas. We want to hear from you guys and your ideas as well. Before we get into that, do you want to explain again the challenges that are going on now and next month and how that relates to the SASR?
The challenges will go throughout the summer, so they're good.
So they're really good options for the camps that we'll be talking about.
Okay, so just to recap, I just told a story about last year. I had set a goal, actually for several years, to try to cross the 1,000 mark in the SASR, and I couldn't do it. I was just stuck at like the early 900s. Sometimes I'd get mid 900s. And then last year, I started playing the classical challenge, which is it's a bundle of exercises. I probably could just show you. Let's share my screen and let me go into. Okay, so over here, you can see there's a challenge that's currently running. This one is the soundtracks challenge. And if you open the bundle, this is Michelle's account, I believe. And so you can see she's been working on this easy bundle and has a bunch of them in there.
As many as
not as many as I do. If we looked at Michelle's right now, you can go to the leaderboard and you can see she has. Where is yours? There it is. She has 20 of them that she's finished, and I've done 170, I think, right now.
So you're going to be way up there.
So I'll be up in 34th place. You can also see your class and do a little contest to see who can read through as many. And you've actually done quite well. Yeah, lots of your students have done really well.
Students, Gailey and Angela, always.
So Michelle's
someone from another country, Michelle?
Go back to that
Yeah.
and see what. Oh, back to my class rank.
Oh, class rank. Sorry, class.
Angela, I guess I didn't.
You didn't realize?
I didn't realize that she's doing one of my hymns courses. I did not realize that she was from the UK. So that's cool.
It's a small world.
Or is she visiting it? It will show where she's at. So I wonder if she's.
I'll have to ask her because I don't think it. Maybe she is visiting because I don't remember seeing that before.
So my class is like Michelle's class is in 21st place. My class is in, we just got passed.
Like we have a
by Anna L again.
NC is
Anna's
meeting.
She's quite the competitor.
Cindy White is crazy. I don't think she's here today. Normally she is.
So I find this one of the best ways to improve sight reading is to engage your students in this this challenge. They read so much music. So last year, there's a baby screaming.
You can hear my kids.
Last year, I got so addicted to the classical challenge. I would go into that. I gotta hide this. I'd go into this folder and I'd just do as many as I can. And once I got to the ones that were really challenging, sometimes it took me 30 plays to get it, to pass it off. And I just read and go to the next one. And I'd be so excited. I think that is probably the biggest key to getting your students to sight read is to get them addicted. If you can get them addicted to it, that feeling of like progress and the fun, just the enjoyment of reading, they're going to, that's probably the biggest key. Because you can force yourself to read. Yeah, I just want to do it. It's good for me. It's like going on a diet. I know I need to, but it's not so much fun. But it's really effective if they become addicted. And like I was doing, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up and I'd sneak into to play the piano, try not waking up everybody else. But that's what that is. Next month there is a classical challenge. Don't do this yet. But this classical challenge, it might be available.
got actually
Look at-
addicted this month by this sight
Oh,
reading.
there it
Do you
is.
remember? I was never interested so much in sight reading. I did that when the program recommended it.
Yeah.
And now I got addicted to it because I realized that I can play anything without knowing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not need to hear it before. I do not need to play it 20 times before. Just like
Yeah.
enjoying low, always a little bit below your level, and you just sit there and say, let's play a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's
That's
another
fun.
key. There's another key that I found. I've been trying to rack my brain because I've done other challenges, but this one is really good. One important thing is it needs to be at your level, not too hard, but hard enough that it's fun. It's challenging. Kind of like a video game type thing. If it's just too hard, you just give up. Another thing is if it's too long, the song is too long, you lose some of the excitement and the engagement in. Let me just give you an example. If I go to this Blue Danube, and I hit the play button here, notice at the top, it tells you how many seconds left there are. So there's 31 seconds. So we've tried to keep those around 30 to 45, no more than a minute, because what happens is your brain, checks out. But when you finish the song, you want to see how you did. And if it took 4 minutes to play through it once and you got a 95, you're just not motivated to do it again. It's just too long. But if it's 35 seconds, then it's easy to say, yes, I can beat it. I'm only 1 point away. So there's something about the mentality.
Yeah, there are quite a few on the soundtrack challenge that are 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Should we report those, or are those there because of copyrights or whatever?
No, you can report those. Do you personally like them shorter too?
Yes, I hate them. Sometimes I just don't do it. If it's too
I
long.
think also one problem is usually in all music pieces, when it takes 3, 4, 5 minutes, there is a repetition, and repetitions are very much about musicality, not about sight reading. And in sight reading, you cannot really focus so much on musicality, especially if you don't know the song. And I think that's the fun part, that you're not really expert in the song. So it doesn't make sense to have so long pieces.
And it can kind of kill your motivation too, like when you're going through and you just did 5 minutes and you got a 95%. You're like, oh, I gotta do this again.
And you also, I'm going too fast. That's what happens.
You also bring up another interesting point. Sometimes like songs you haven't heard, or you look at this piece and you say, oh, this is a Carl Czerny, The Little Pianist. And this one is Samuel Arnold. And you don't know Samuel Arnold wrote jigs. And you can obviously tell it's a Baroque piece or maybe early classical. But it's very good for like music history, seeing all these composers. Here's a new one, Jean-François Dandre. I don't, forgive my French. Excuse my French.
That would be Dandrieu.
Oh, Dandrieu.
Thank you.
Dandrieu. Yeah, you can help me with this name in Canada.
Excuse her French. So, I mean, it's great for me in lots of different ways, but I found like there's so many like really cool things that keep me engaged, and I beat my record. And then
so that's April was asking what the relation is between these challenges and the SASR, and that's really it. Is just that doing this on a consistent basis, like at least 5 times a week for a certain amount of time, really makes a big difference in your sight reading ability, which therefore increases your SASR score.
I noticed my sight. I actually felt my sight reading getting better. Sometimes you can't feel yourself getting better, but I actually felt myself getting better. Things felt more smooth. I felt more confident, and so it was really rewarding.
Yeah, cool experience. So this is a really good option for the summer camps that we're talking about. And again, you can do a camp at any time, not just during the summer. But we have already curated these really awesome huge books of material for you guys for all of these challenges. So you can take a past one that you really enjoyed and use that, or you can do the one that we're doing currently during the summer. I think it's June is Jazzy June, Patriotic Challenge is July, and then Hymn Challenge in August. So there's some pretty good ones that are.
The hymn challenge is always very popular.
Which is interesting.
Yes, through the entire, there are more countries do that than most of the challenges.
Yeah, which you wouldn't think, because they're generally, we try to get some more hymns from other religions as well, but most of them are just, you know, different Christian denominations. So it's interesting. You'd think that that would be less popular, but people really love it. So those are great options. I wanted to talk a little bit about our experience. Actually, we've done a few hymns boot camps, I guess, during the summer that have been really effective and a lot of fun for the kids and for us. So that's really my only experience with the summer camps, has been doing hymns boot camps. But I think it's a formula that you can really easily duplicate with just about any book. You can even, you know, create your own, whatever you want to use it for, whatever you think your students need to work on that summer, would have a fun time with. I think you can easily duplicate what we did. So
what I'm doing is I have done about 100 songs already for a summer camp on sea songs. That's
there you go. Actually, that's a good. I wanted to ask you guys first, who has done some kind of camp? Doesn't have to be during the summer, but like a specific time, like a short little camp that you've done with your students, either online or in person, group, one-on-one. Does anybody have any experience with this?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us about your experience, Valerie.
So I call mine Piano Presto because it's fast, quick,
Yeah.
and it's a whole week and it's 3 hours. So this was before I really incorporated the Piano Marvel. I would use songs, just short songs, and then I would first show them the finger method of it, or they would have finger numbers. And then I would take away the finger numbers, and then I would say, have the actual letter names. So it was, you know, just a few songs that they knew how to play.
And so were they playing together, like as a group, or was it just one student?
So they had their headphones on first. I would, you know, first show it, then I would then say, okay, now you put your headphones on, work it out, you know, and I would have it on paper. But then I went to the board, the computer, and then they would all together play it together. We would follow the computer on the wall. So
awesome.
And you say that was a whole week, and these are 7 days or 5 days and
Monday
3
through
hours
Friday.
per day.
Yeah, Monday
5
through
days,
Friday.
3 hours. How many songs did you do more or less in total in this time?
It ended up being about 5 because I would try to reinforce.
One per session of 3 hours.
Pretty much per session.
That's what we are planning to.
Oh, let's see. April Barton says, I have used Christmas. Oh, let me go back to the chat. Christmas camps, patriotic music camp, B composers. Okay, Bach, Beethoven, Beatles. That's so fun. Each camp has associated theory and music history too. That sounds really cool.
Right.
Yeah. You want to see one thing that I did? This is actually cool. It might be out of most teachers' comfort zone. But let me show you one thing we did here. Let's share the screen.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a video of some of this. If I go to YouTube, oops. One of them was the chat attack. I forgot how to spell it. It's a silly song that I wrote. And it's, oh no.
Is it on your channel?
There's another one called that Jacob did.
Tell them. That one?
Did we do this one?
You're gonna need to use more than that though. Like, you gotta find your
Piano Marvel?
Yeah, Piano Marvel or Aaron Gardner.
I just need one sample. How about Talamis?
There.
Oh,
That one?
okay. Yeah. So this is just something I did with a little group of kids here. I don't know if I might have forgotten to share my audio. Yeah, let me share my sound real fast so you can hear it.
The thing that's different about a Verbo vacation
Sad.
home, you always have the whole
So he drops his drumstick in the middle. And he picks it up. Oh,
Awesome. So the one that's singing and playing the guitar, he's the one that's getting married this summer. So that
yeah.
was a long time ago.
Oh.
Voice that young and
Yeah.
little, but
So these are priceless little projects that I did in the summer where they could play the drums and guitar and sing. Anyway, that I could show you where I put some of these things. Let me share my screen and show you real quick. Go back into Piano Marvel. Try it. Let's see those blisters.
That Ann
Okay.
Hansen.
mute.
Okay.
It's like sounds like she's running machinery or something.
It sounded like a blender.
Yeah, maybe a blender.
Do I even have the drum part in here? This is so long ago. Flashcards, ensemble. I might have put it in the ensemble. Okay, so some of this don't work. I need to re-upload some of these.
Was it in Learn?
Might have been.
That
Um,
actually happened to some of my pieces as well, that I have to re-upload them. Is that because of some update?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're working
That one
on.
big update.
What is another like a good ensemble
tone
piece? If you type in drums, you can find like 7 years. This was a project that I did with Michelle.
Show that video.
So much fun. She doesn't want you to see it, but go look it up on YouTube. It's such a good one. I actually played the drums and the bass and the piano, and she sang. So how do you do all those at one time? But ensembles are really fun. And we're gonna be loading a bunch more ensembles. Bohemian Rhapsody was one we did. The piano, bass, and drums are in there. And if you've never done the drums in Piano Marvel, you should probably go get a drum kit and just try this with your students. It is the
It's so
coolest thing
fun.
ever. It works just like piano. You just click on a note and it'll tell you.
If you actually have an electric piano, it's not necessary. You can do all on the piano as well.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's not the same feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's-
for starting, you do not need to buy a drum kit.
Yeah. I was just thinking if
Students just like the drums.
the
a little
students
more.
just think it's the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever. So we do this, and it's really, really fun way to learn the drums. It's the fastest way I've ever seen anybody pick up a piece on the drums, and I didn't have to train them because they've already gone into like the learn mode, and they've broken it up into like this first section. They just learn that fill here, and then they move on to the next section and do this part of it. So it's split up really well for that. Anyway, that's just one project I wanted to share.
Yeah, and there
Do you
really
have
are.
any ensembles
Go
yeah,
ahead.
do you have any ensembles for 3 pianos?
Um,
two, like lots of
I do,
duets with
yeah, lots of
pianos.
2 pianos, 4 pianos.
What about Flight of the Bumblebee? You have an 8-person or something like that?
That is true. I've got one for like Flight of the Bumblebee. This one was really cool. Flight of the Bumblebee Rock. This one's a 6-part ensemble. So you can do it with 6 people playing.
Which is perfect if you do 2.
Is
on
this
each,
the one?
or
Or
3
is this
pianos.
the one? 6-part ensemble. So there's part 1, part 2, and I believe you can print these if you go to the options.
Hmm.
And so there's part 1 and part 2,
Oh, okay.
part 3, and part 4, which is really easy. I think that's like, that's maybe not the easiest. Oh, and then there's a couple of drum tracks here. And we did these drum tracks on the piano itself. So we just chose the bass and the hi-hat there. And you could just see it's just bass, 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 hi-hat, bass, hi-hat. And just so they're playing 2 keys on the piano the whole time, keeping a beat.
Are all of those in Learn? What I didn't see where they are in Piano Marvel.
They are in the library.
Are they separate?
No, it was all in one. These are like really old ones that we put together. And so it was actually in, I think it's, I gotta hide this thing. Thank you. If I go to the Learn, I believe there are 3
okay.
speeds of
So it's
each
in there.
one. So they're all in. I was just experimenting with different ways to upload it.
We should probably make a
Yeah,
bundle,
I
'cause
probably
that's how we do it now.
need to spend some time and make a bundle of ensemble music, which is one of our big things that we're coming up with soon. Is we're going to put a lot of effort in giving new ensembles to your students, like a new one every month, so just to keep them engaged.
Is there I can't remember, is there a section in the library for ensembles?
There is. So if you go to this little filter and you just want to see duets and ensembles, let's see what we have available. Click on this and you say duets. It doesn't say ensembles, it says duets, but it's supposed to be duets and ensembles.
We should probably make a note.
Let me see.
I understand it a little bit different because duets, I understand, is 2 piano and ensembles is with different instruments. That's
Yeah.
how I approach it. But
I wonder if you just type in the word ensemble.
But you can put perhaps duets and drums, so you get, or just drums, and
Yeah.
there are not so many.
Just typing
yet.
it in
There
here.
should be more. Okay, yeah. Ensemble.
Yeah, if you type it in, you can
Yeah.
see there are some, like this one, I believe. Actually, I don't even know why that one's in an ensemble, other than it's split up for 2 pianists.
Yeah, but there's a lot of options. And I think the key. There it is. Sorry, trying to get back.
You have
into
to stop
Zoom.
sharing.
Thank you. So I think the key to having a really successful camp is fun. So as long as the students are having a lot of fun, then they're going to be having success as well. So what we did when we did our hymns boot camps during the summer was the kids would come in and we would first start off with games to get to know each other, to just have some fun. So that was like name games, rhythm games, cup
Icebreakers.
games, yeah, icebreakers like that. And then we also did some leading, and that worked well because we were doing a hymns boot camp. So
Conducting.
yeah, like leading music, conducting music. So it worked well because that was another skill that, you know, they need to know in order to, you know, do hymns at church. If they can conduct and play music, then that kind of goes kind of hand in hand. So that worked really well. But if you're doing something else, you can do something else as well, but a lot of like music history, music theory, all of that will work. Just fun ways to bring up that kind of thing. And then after that, we would send them to their pianos. We had a bunch of candy on hand. You can use other things as well, but we like candy. So we had a bunch of candy on hand, and we sent the kids each to their keyboard. I think we had 6 or 8 keyboards, maybe 8. And then we had them all starting on something, but we knew that they were at different levels. So we let them go as quickly or as slowly as they needed to. We went around and helped them, basically just like a regular group class. We've talked a lot about group lessons, but we made sure to have lots of incentives for them. So every time we were doing the boot camps, which we've gone over a little bit, in that they didn't need to get a specific score. They didn't need to get a 96, like a gold, or they didn't need to get 100. It was just go finish it, get your score, come get a piece of candy. So go through as many as you can and get as many pieces of candy as you can. So that'll be different depending on what you're doing. If you're doing a boot camp, it'll be like that.
You have to get the 80%, right? Because
no, so that is on certain things, which would also work really well for a camp, which would be like the sight reading samurai. You have to get 80% or higher. There's something else I think on our game.
But how do you do a boot camp
mode
without the control over how much percent they
so a boot camp actually does not require you to get a certain percentage.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can share my screen again and show
game mode does.
Game mode does. So I'll show game mode first. This is what we're what's like something games we have. Pirate
level
games.
up.
Oh, there we go, level up. So we have lots of different games. Here's level up is one, where this is what Tabea was talking about, where you can't get past, like this is as far as I got on this one. So I need to get past Little Joe by getting 80% or higher in order for this lock to open so I can try Shoe Fly. So that is a really fun one. Kids love that like gamified feeling. And that's the same with Sight Reading Samurai and all of the games. Like I think, let me find games.
Now, for those that don't, so say for instance, for my piano Presto, these are beginner students. So this would be.
I would not say this is too much for them. No, definitely not.
Okay.
So like this Bumblebee games, for example, this starts with. Okay, that one might be because it's from Bumblebee Rock, so that is a hard one. But it's still they all start easy and get harder and harder as they go. So like the level up that we were just looking at starts level up again. That starts very, very simple. Level 1 starts at this. All middle C, super easy. And then if you get to the next one, Stalker, again, mostly middle C, you got some D's in there, but it goes up very gradually and it's a lot of fun for kids. This can be, if you have what are they called? Advanced students, they may not love this starting because they have to start from level 1 in order to get up there. So they may not want to start with one of these. You kind of have to figure out what you're.
Maybe they could with
yeah. Sorry.
Well, I saw one
entrance test or so.
Okay. What was that, Tabea?
You could do some entrance tests or so and have like 2 or 3 boot camps according to the level and see if you manage to play the first one of this boot camp, you can enter that boot camp and you do not need to enter lower boot
and if they're your students year round, then you will know where they're at and you can probably place them pretty easily. But yeah, this one
Living on a Prayer is actually very interesting because it goes very quickly. So they do that first one, it's like a freebie, then the second one gets harder, third one gets harder. And
there are some, like this one's a pretty short one.
I was just gonna ask, can teachers make their own game mode?
Yes, right? Can you make game mode?
I don't know.
Or can you only do
You can make boot camps, but I don't know if you can make game mode.
Maybe we should go check. I'll let you know. But we do have a lot that you can look at.
Anybody want to see right now if you can make your own game mode?
Let's see. So
I would check because I did several boot camps, but I'm not sure if there's game mode. I didn't realize.
Create a book.
So if we have, just grab any one of these right here.
Grab it, open it, you mean?
Yeah, just open that. Edit, I guess. and see if it says
Boot camp, we don't have a game mode.
there's
We should
no-
have that.
You can't add your game. You can't make a game
I'm gonna
mode
make a
yet.
note of that too, because that would be cool. But we can show you the boot camps because those are a little bit different. This is where what do you escape?
It's to hide it. Control. Or you mean to get out of this?
No, just no, don't
Hide.
stop share, hide it, yeah. Sorry. So Tabe was asking if in a boot camp, or I should just do, let's go to him.
Make it easy.
If it stops them at, or if they have to get 80%. But with a boot camp, it's kind of the opposite. You don't have to get to a certain score, but you only get one try. So you get one try and then it moves you on, no matter what you get.
And by the
So
way, I actually made a sheet that details this like word for word.
which we
Let's
can
see
share
if I
with you.
can share it with you.
So
go
you
to
click
the-
also available as a boot camp, and then you can just
Is
start
it
the boot
what is a
camp.
boot camp? Maybe
Maybe
right
right
here.
there.
This might be.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, so I put this in there as like detailed instructions on how you could
Would
set
it
it
be
up.
very difficult to allow us or give us the possibility to create games as well, this play mode?
It actually wouldn't be. It wouldn't be difficult.
I just made a note of that. We're gonna make sure that we can
Okay, cool.
get that for you
cool.
guys. Because you can do boot camps, which is this that we're explaining
I
now.
have
where
a lot
you
of them,
don't have to get
yeah.
a certain amount. Yeah, so you know how to do boot camps. Most people do
Yeah.
that have done the certification, you've done it. But yeah, we don't have a way for you to make your own games, which is the opposite, where you have to make 80% before you move on. So
Yeah.
we will come up with a way to get that
If
up
that's
there.
something that you guys would like, I can bring it up to the dev team and they can, which is I'm meeting with them in 3
4
minutes.
minutes. So I'll let them know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me get
Yeah,
it just
please, that would be cool.
okay, so Tabea says yes. Anybody else? How do you get
That'd
out
be
of here?
good. Yeah, I would like that too.
Okay, Valerie, you say yes, so 2 of you. Anybody else feel like you'd be using it?
I was thinking a fun thing might be to make a game mode for game music. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
We
What
have
were you
quite
asking
a
us?
few, if you want to share. We have
Right.
Minecraft music already.
Exactly.
We do
Yeah, that-
our own Minecraft music too.
Interesting.
There
Did
Okay.
you already create it?
Yeah, we create for our games because we make Minecraft maps. So we do the music for our maps as well.
Ooh, yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
cool.
talking about.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think and I don't think that would be incredibly difficult.
Well, I'd have to
Okay.
look at everything that would go into it
Yeah.
because like if we could control what you try to make into a game, it's much easier than allowing other people to like turn like some minced and chopped stuff, chop slicing into a game because it's very specific
Yeah.
how the game mode runs. Let me run that by
Yeah.
the dev team, which I have to run. Did anybody else have a question for me before I leave?
Okay, here.
Yes, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Cheryl.
Can a family have one account and 2 people be using the same account at the same time?
It would.
Theoretically, yes.
I mean, I've seen people do it, but it takes away so much of their ownership to when they pass off a song.
Oh,
Especially if it's like a younger sibling gets a score and then the older sibling goes and overwrites it.
So
like,
they
it
never
feels
know
like
what they
what's the point?
finished. And so then
Yeah.
I think I mean, 90% of what you do is motivating students to practice. And that's one of the key motivators is that ownership to their trophies.
If the
works.
budget is the problem, we do have like the packs in the store, so you can get them for cheaper. So it like the yearly account is now $130 a month. I mean, wow, that'd be a lot. $130 a year. But if you get it in a pack, each one is just $100 for the year. So you can get $200 for 2 of them, or if they wanted to do more than that, they can. So that does save them $60, which is substantial.
You
Well, I had a
can,
question. You had the competition. Do the winners ever get notified that their
Give Heidi a couple of weeks because she's in charge of notifying everybody. She might
That would
get
be
it out
that would her
soon,
to-do list for today. So I know she's planning on doing it today.
but she's
but-
on vacation, so we'll see if it gets done today, tomorrow. Maybe by tomorrow they'll get
But
notified.
yes, they will. And I know that it's on her to-do list. So it's definitely going to get done soon.
Okay,
To
thank you.
reply your first question, if the level of the students in the family is very different, I think it's possible to share an account. As long as they do not bother in sharing the account also for the challenges.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Definitely it can be done. It's more complicated.
And
For
if
sure.
the if the level is really that different, the young student may be able to just get away with a free account
yeah,
because there's a lot of very early stuff like all of level 1 you can get for free.
exactly. Exactly. You can start for free and
Yeah, so just start them off with their own account for free, the younger one.
Yeah.
All right, well, I better run. Thank you,
Thank you for
guys.
being
It was
here.
fun to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Aaron.
luck.
thank you very much.
Thanks.
Michelle,
Cool.
I do have a
Yeah.
question with all that is being added into the library. I
Mhm.
know prior we started, there was an Excel sheet
Mm.
of
Repertoire?
songs, yeah, repertoire and order and all of that. Is there any thought of that coming in the pipeline where we have a catalog?
So
There
we
is
we
still-
still have the Excel sheet, and occasionally we add to it, but that's not really the best way to do it. So we kind of want to
Right.
get away from doing that and try to make a
But
better
there's
way
one
to look it
online.
up.
There's
What was
one
that?
online.
Yeah, so
There is
it's
something online.
yeah, it's a Google sheet that we try to add to, but it's just not really the best way. So we're trying to just make the library more user friendly so that you're able to find the things that you're looking for. So we're kind of constantly working on that.
But this Piano Marvel music library, this link, what is it? These are the songs, more or less, which are on the Piano Marvel app.
Oh yeah.
That's
So she's
where I usually search.
yeah. So what she's referring to was a Google spreadsheet, which was a list by level of the really good like recital pieces that were sort of Aaron approved.
I didn't know that existed. I
Yeah.
did myself one, so
Okay.
I just add what is new.
Yeah, a lot of teachers will do that. They'll get their own bundle and they'll just keep adding things and share that with their students. So that works. But we are trying to make it just easier for you to find
Cool.
the pieces that you're looking for.
Mhm.
And we do have, like, we started doing Song of the Week, where we basically just would add a new really good song every week. So we still have that on there. If you look up Song of the Week, you can find a really good, what's it
Okay.
called? Like
I guess
bundle or book.
Yeah, because I guess what I'm saying, because I didn't know that you could type in ensemble or,
Mhm.
just certain things that would trigger knowledge of what's in there.
Yeah, so that's what
So
we're
that
really working on, trying to make that user friendly so you can go find exactly what you're
Cool.
looking for, even easier than the spreadsheet. So
Okay, great.
yeah, just
Thank you.
may spend a little bit of time in there just exploring, like trying to find a certain
the
piece, see
funnel.
what it with the filters and just seeing what you can do with that, because we have made some really good improvements on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, there are 3 ways to search. There's the music library. You do not need to have an account to find the songs. Then you have the library when you're in the app. And the third one is when you upload pieces. You can also search the ones that are already uploaded by Piano Marvel.
Yeah, that's true.
I have seen there is now a possibility that we can share what we upload. Is that right? Or did I miss
We've always been able to share, but you just have to have their email address. So if it's someone who has a Piano Marvel
that
account-
is there's nothing new to that.
No, so we have done
All right.
we've done twice now during Christmas-ish season. We do basically an extra little challenge where we allow people to share to the whole public. And
Yeah.
we only do it occasionally because we have to like review the pieces, make sure they're high quality, not inappropriate, etc. So we haven't come up with a way to do that year round yet because it's kind of a lot of work for us. So we need to come up with a way to like self-check without like actual people having to be involved with that. So yeah, that does happen during Christmas time. But other than that, it's just people that you actually know that you can share with. Yep. Good questions. Any others? Or any about boot camps or summer camps or anything? Well, let me check the chat. I haven't seen that in a little bit.
It might be kind of cool if, I mean, this, Tabea shared a little bit with me about the sea shanty boot camp that they have. It's super cool. I don't know if she wants to share any of that or has any of that available to share, but it's really fun and well thought out and original. Like I've never thought of a boot camp like that. So it's an interesting
I'm
one.
actually thinking about sharing it, but it will probably not be for free, and it must go through the whole process of checking that there is no copyright issue, which is not that easy in music.
Yes.
So I'm still working on that. We actually want to share the whole lesson because this is a STEAM boot camp. So we do science and arts with it. And we are working on that because I was really 6 months so busy with something different. I couldn't do anything. And I've just set up a little bit the whole week now. So I have a clear picture now, and now we are with the fine tunes. And we will certainly publish that in some way, and it will certainly not be expensive, but I will not share it for free.
Yeah,
So,
of course. No, that's you should be paid for your work.
That goes along with our what Evelyn and I talked about. Was it last time? Maybe it was last time. Did anybody else, has anyone else done boot camps, and what did you do for your boot camps?
That would be interesting.
I've actually never done a boot camp, so other than the boot camp challenge.
Yeah.
Especially the motivation part, because I see that apparently suites are working very well for you, but I feel that's not working so well on our side with our students. So do you do something?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, do you do something else apart from giving suites?
Oh, giving suites. Well, and I also wanted to clarify, I didn't mean boot camp, I meant summer camp, a camp of any type.
Yeah, I understood you, yeah.
I didn't mean just boot camps. But yeah, is everyone like me, they've not done summer camps before? Yeah.
What was that question, Cami?
I was just curious who's done summer camps, but it sounds like not
Valerie said she had
Oh, Valerie has.
Yeah, so I mean, actually the because it's geared for beginners, that's just to get my new students coming in for fall. So
but that's a good idea.
Yeah, I call it Piano Presto. So they're just getting that introductory, learning what the quarter notes are and all kinds of notes, and then I just have them play a few songs that are and Peter's a big one from last year. So I was able to say, okay, we're going to learn by rote, but then now we're going to learn by note.
Yeah, cool.
So.
Esther just asked how much you charge for
Sure.
your summer camp.
Sure. So I do $185 per the week for 3 hours. So it's 5 days, 3 hours, and it's $185. Then it's a $10 registration. So it's $195.
Cool. I know a lot of teachers will basically just continue their tuition through the summer. And instead of teaching regular lessons during the summer, they just do a week-long camp. And then
this encourages new people. So that's
cool.
That's what I put in my marketing. This is, if you're wanting your child to learn how to play, this is a great start.
Yeah. I was just saying that's another way to do it. So I've seen both ways where it's like, this is a specific thing you pay for, and then other teachers just say, this is part of what we do. So two ways
So
to
it
do it.
sounds like summer camps can have a couple different purposes, like just something more fun to do during the summer, finding new students for the next year. And I know, like, my son plays cello and they have a summer camp, and the university here has summer camp for piano. And they for my son, they talked about how it's kind of like an intensive where you can spend several hours a day instead of just, you know, once a week lesson type of thing. So it probably opens up options that you wouldn't normally be able to do in the regular structure of lessons, to be able to say, we're going to have 3 days or 4 or 5 days, and you're going to be here X amount of hours each day and go more intensive. So it kind of opens up some different options, and they probably leave with more progress than they could make on their own through the regular processes, right? So is that kind of the motivation, one of the motivations behind having summer camps?
I think it also, just because it's different and new and it is more intense, and then after that it's done for a while and they get to take a break and go on their family vacation or whatever, I think it gives students kind of like, it's just a different energy. If they continue doing lessons year round, it kind of gets draining. So I think having that, like, this is a fun camp that's different, not something we normally do, and then a little break, I think that's really beneficial.
Because I was thinking, you know, as far as different types of summer camps, just because this is on my brain right now, I was like, it would be fun to have a summer camp where you're like, come and learn X amount of songs, like learn how to play songs through improvisation, through learning structure and those types of things. Because if you did it in a summer camp type of way, they walk away knowing so much so fast, and they feel really empowered. Or you could do one on, you know, theory, or with a bunch of games, or you could do one on sight reading where they go hog wild on sight reading, you know, like go all in. Or I don't know, my brain has just been thinking of, oh, well, there are different ways you can take advantage of this. It's kind of a unique way to approach teaching.
Right.
I've never done it.
Now, for my summer camps, what I'll do, because I teach the art also, art with heart. And so I have 3 hours, 9 to 12, then that hour break. And then we have 1 to 4 where I do art with heart. So they can, you know, join both camps, you know, art with heart or piano.
A full day.
Right, a full day.
When they can just not get enough of Valerie.
Exactly.
They want it all.
Yes, for us, a very important motivation is also that summer is very different because we have a long holiday. And during the year, children usually don't have time. I mean, some play piano during the year, but then they have really their 2 hours per week or 1 hour per week, and they run to the next thing. They are so busy. And in summer, they're usually bored because there is not, well, that's when they start doing summer camps. So,
So I'm guessing the best way to approach summer camps would be like, because I know April and May here are, the students are so busy, like especially the high school students are, wow, they have quite the load. And so I'm guessing you take a break in between the end of the school year and when your summer camp is, so that they get to that bored phase. Because I'm guessing it takes them a little while just to recover from finishing their semester or whatever they're doing in school.
And that happens because I take a break. I take a break.
We need a break.
Yes, we need a break. So at the end of May, actually, is when I do my break. Well, actually, it'll be later because the way the school falls. So when the children are out of school, I quit, and then I go into summer mode, summer school mode or the summer camp mode. Then I just have the, I'll just do the second and the fourth week of June, second and fourth week of July. And then
so you do 2 of them?
I do actually, well, yeah, four camps. Four camps. And it's the same camp in June. The same camps in June and June. It's the same camps in July.
So is it a week long?
Yeah, they're week longs.
Okay.
So the second week, it's just that whole week. I'm working, working, working. And then, but my students, I give them that option to continue because I say you don't use it, you lose it. So don't come back to me in the, fall. We're gonna go back, you know.
That was
So
actually
you-
something I was going to mention too, is all of these camps can be done remotely as well. Like if you do want to take a break, but want them to continue practicing, or they want to, or their parents want to continue practicing over the summer, you can use Piano Marvel really easily. Any of those things that we talked about to just say, hey,
Remotely.
work on this summer, because it's automated. So
Yep.
that works too.
That's our main motivation, because it's actually part of a storytelling program I'm developing here. We call it Heart to Heart, and we want to connect to kids in other countries. And that's why we do it with Canada. But then we have this problem with the time difference, and so there's a lot of organization, but that's really only possible thanks to online playing.
Yeah.
That's a fun idea. You know, the the December challenge where they had pen pals, like the winners have pen pals from, is it Haiti and where somewhere in Mexico. It happens to be some of the students in Canada won. Was it Lori Dunn's studio? And they're connecting with some students in Haiti, and they happen to know a little French, which is really fun because the two different places, speak French. And so I thought, oh, wow, that's really cool that they get to connect to someone in another country. It would be fun if more of that started happening, like you're saying, Tavea.
And that's
like
cool for us
connections.
because we are learning English and French too. So we have these two common languages,
I wanted to ask Valerie, and we're straight up at an hour, but I just wanted to ask, so you've been doing this for how long, and what has experience been like for you, like compared to during the year teaching, for you as a teacher and for the students, what has experience been like for you?
For the summer camps, you're saying moving, actually, that gives me new students, actually. Because because I do piano Presto, we also do a guitar Presto, which is my other guy. He teaches the guitar. So everything's with this new students in mind. So that, that's creating a multiple, that multiple rolling of students coming in. And what was your other question? I'm sorry. How is it?
Oh, I just wondered what the experience was like for you, because it's it's just a different structure than your normal teaching. So I just wondered how you liked it, or like what it was like for you.
Yeah. So I like it because it puts me, because we have a big room in the back, and so it allows us to break out. We'll do do games. We'll play games. We'll even go outside. I won't just stay music. We just make it a fun time, and then I'll usually do themes. I'll say for this, like the second week of June, that would be princess themes or princess and night themes, so they'll dress up, and they'll, we'll do little things around that. We'll play music around that, or, just different things. So, I like it because it gives me an outlet, it gives me something different to do instead of the structure of, lessons.
You do seem to like ooze creativity, Valerie.
And like this year, I'm gonna, because I told you about the puppet stuff. I'm gonna do a puppet camp this year. So
I wondered if that was one of them.
That's gonna be one too. A puppet camp, and then I do what is called Disney Diva Karaoke Camp, which is singing.
Sounds so cool.
Yeah, Disney Diva. So everything's Disney. And, I've had even boys come to it, and I'm like, hey, let's sing Disney.
Got the princes, right?
Disney, yes. So it's Disney Diva Karaoke Camp. And then we do, we'll sing songs. I'll teach them how to, breathing techniques. We'll go over that, and then they get to select their own. And then so their own song, and then they'll sing their selections. So, so it's really fun. It's fun. It's, so.
I've decided that go ahead. I was just gonna say, I've decided that I want to be Valerie when I grow up.
I know.
Yes.
And it's so funny because my husband said, you just have too much in here. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. And it's, and I put it to work and I'll just do it.
Love that.
So it's fun.
I think that sounds really engaging, just
It
as
is.
I hear it. But I feel that you have also some sort of assessment besides the Piano Marvel, because that will convince the parents. I feel. How do you do that?
No, you said I have some type of what?
Some assessment. Or is it just the Piano Marvel score and you say, okay, now they know to play, and that's enough because the parents are those who pay at the end. So
exactly.
They must be convinced.
So at the end on the Friday, I tell the parents to come on 45 minutes earlier. And I said, so then they get to hear what they've accomplished, in that time. So really, and I usually do 8 because I have the 8 keyboards. So just about every year, I have just about half or more of that class entering for the fall. So, which is a good ROI, so, and that's what I kind of gear it towards, because they had so much fun. It's like, oh gosh, we want to do, so I'll say now the fall session is going to be a little different because it's going to be more structured. So, but yeah, and then we get vocal students, then we, and then we have the art with heart. So we have art, at the program. So
that's amazing.
So what I'm hearing is you're a beautician, a hairstylist, a vocalist, a pianist, a puppeteer, and an artist. Is that what I'm hearing?
The scripture where, that it talks about when God gave all the talents, it's like, I'm like, oh God, I have a responsibility here. So, but no, I'm an artsy person. I really am. I know that. I just know that, and it's been in me, and like I said, we've been in business for 23 years now, so it's been in me, and it's just been a part of who I am.
I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's too bad we don't have April's sound, because she also said she does offer a camp workshop and 4 lessons in the summer for a 2-month tuition.
Yeah, so earlier in another chat, she did explain a little bit more. So she says, I have Christmas camps, patriotic music camp, B composers such as Bach, Beethoven, Beatles, and then each camp has associated theory and music history too. So she does a lot of different camps, and they sound really fun. And at different times, it sounds like she does Christmas as well. So really cool. Yeah. Well, April, we would love to hear from you another time if you can come with your microphone working or whatever. I know all about those kinds of issues. My video wouldn't work for like a month, so finally got that fixed. But thank you guys so much for being here. We are over time now. Are there any last questions before we go? Sorry, my kids are screaming now.
Thank you.
And my dog is howling. Let me mute.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you guys in 2 weeks, I think.
That's
all right.
it.
Bye.
Bye.